Minions, Princess Ritza here, and we last left off, we were halfway through this Istory Falls dungeon, and we're better equipped to take on the second half because all our characters now have the core rings on, and they'll help out some random battles in here, and they'll also definitely help out against the boss of this dungeon. We get another Phoenix down here. We're just gonna wander around, try to get some more treasures, because we want to get all the treasures in this dungeon. Yep. And I'm sorry about that, Minions. The video thing just messed up there for some reason. But one thing I got there was that was a wall ring down there in that treasure chest in that little corner there. And this right here are some new enemies, the Steel Fists. And of course they look like little monks. And one thing that they have is they have a build-up ability. And pretty much it's like the monk class's build-up ability. It basically doubles their damage output for the next round. So, yeah, they're a good monster to capture because when released, they do one of those strong attacks. So we'll probably catch some of them a little bit later. But right now, I'm just worried about taking them out real quick because, first of all, they back attacked us, and two, we're running out of magic here and resources. There is I could use an ether and stuff to heal myself up, but there's a save point coming up in the next room, so I'll just use a cabin to heal myself up there, so it's okay. We're gonna have a little bit of suffering on this fight, but we'll make it through okay, Minions. Yep. So there he is. He's focusing the energy. That means when he does his next attack, he will hit for massive damage. So, we'll see if we can take him out before he does that. And, oh, real close. Like I said, these guys have about 4,000 hit points. So, very close there. As you can see, 5,000 hit points of damage. It's pretty much going to knock out any of your characters, unless you're massively high level. Or using like an ability like the Knight's Guard that reduces all physical attacks to 0. But yeah, so close to taking him out. You only need a little bolt, one spell to take him out. But it's okay. We survived it, and we're getting close to the save point here. And here we are. Now notice there's those spikes around the save point. We can't really touch them, but they're going to be like a new trap coming up soon, Minions. So just keep them in mind. Yep, a new little trap to try to damage us. So make sure you save your game at every save point, Minions. So just in case something goes wrong. So now we're gonna go into a new gimmicky room here where we got this little halo of light, and we're gonna do a little bit of backtracking to get some treasures. Up here in this area we have the Artemis bow. So we can't use that, so no point in really worrying about it. But, we're collecting all the treasures. Down in this corner there, just barely out of our view, is another treasure chest. 12,000 gil. And we go around this way, and we're backtracking back to that room where we had the Steel Fists. There's a treasure chest with the wall ring up there to the northeast of us. And that treasure chest right there just had an enhancer sword. So, nothing important, nothing that we can use. So, we can use it to sell for monies. Because we're going to have to restock up on cottages. We ran out of cottages and want to fill up our potions and high potion stuff. And we fell down a hole here to B5. It's okay that we fell down this hole. Because we would have came down this way anyway, so... there's those spikes again, they're popping up, so they're like a little trap. If you open the treasure chest, the spikes will pop up, but you can preemptively pop up the spikes by finding the switch, hitting the switch, and then the spikes will pop up, and that way you're safe. If you try to, say if we tried to open that treasure chest before doing that, we stood on one of those areas where the spikes were, they would have jumped up and hit us. So, if we didn't fall down that hole, all we would have to do is, head down these stairways here, which were south of where we got that Artemis bow, and to the east of where we got that 12,000 gil. And now we come here, and this is reversed. We want to hit this button to lower the spikes. The spikes are already up. And now there's 2 holes there. We have to fall down one of these 2 holes because there's no stairway down to this final area here where the 4th tablet is. So we know there's going to be a boss here, of course, because every tablet's guarded by a boss. So make sure you're prepared, minions. Our 4th and final tablet. We pick it up, and woohoo! Where's the boss? Maybe we got lucky. Oh well. Well, let's just get out of here. Uh-oh, that tablet. You'll hand it over to me. Who's there? Oh, it's like a red little guy. Once Lord Escleth gains the power of the void, he'll create a world for us monsters. I won't let you interfere with that. But you know who will interfere with that? Leviathan. The Lord of the Sea, Leviathan. He's gonna come out here and he's gonna defeat this red monster. Yes, we don't have to fight a boss. Woohoo! And I said you don't have to fight a boss because you can actually skip Leviathan. You do not have to fight Leviathan. The power of my water is strong enough to wash away all sins and purify everything, but only to those with the ability to fight the void will I grant my power. So here is Leviathan. He is the real boss this area, but like I said, you don't have to fight him. You can just walk away, and it's okay. He is optional, but he's pretty easy, as long as you're equipped to deal with him. As you can see, he does a party-wide hit, tidal wave. But if we have the core rings equipped, well, you know what's going to happen? Every time he uses that thing, it's going to heal ourselves up. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Another thing that makes them a little bit easier is, unlike many of the other bosses we've been fighting, this guy actually has an elemental weakness. So we can hit him for lightning, for massive damage. Lena has the Magus Rod equipped, so that increases her, the potency of her lightning spells. And as a time mage, she can quick herself, so she gets 2 lightning 3s off in a round. She did over a third of Leviathan's. She did total hit points in just like 1 turn there. She did about 16,000 damage to him, and he has 40,000 hit points. So almost like 2/5 of his hit points, about 40%, just in 1 turn. So, yep, so we defeat Leviathan, we get his summon, and now we can, Leviathan ain't really a good summon, because you can't really boost him with anything. Stilger, you can use the air knife, some of the other summons you can use the rods, can't really do that with Leviathan. But we just head south there, we hop into that waterfall, and it pushes us out, back to the entrance, and now we can just, head back, to our submarine. Now, when we got the Leviathan summon, we have filled out all our summoning magic. So, now I'm just gonna do a little bit of filling stuff out here. We don't have to do it because, there's no need to it, but I'm just gonna go around and I'm gonna fill out all the magics. I'm gonna fill out all the white magics, even though we can't use it. And by getting all the white magics, we'll also end up filling out the sword magics that we can't use. I figure, hey, might as well just fill them all out because we've already filled out the bard songs. We can't use any of them, and we almost filled out the sword things except for one. We can't use them, and we basically filled out the summon magic, and we can't use them, so hey, why not? So we just have to get a few more spells here, and we'll wander around the face of the earth and pick them up. Just showing you, in case you want to use, like, white magic, so you pick up all the spells. So, And speaking of picking stuff up and filling out our inventory, now that we have the 3rd and the 4th tablet, we can actually go and get the final 6 legendary weapons. So I didn't bother to get them after the 3rd tablet because none of these new weapons that we're going to get are are really going to be all that useful. Technically, only the first 4 that we got were really useful, and even the 4th one, the Sage's Staff, was kind of debatable. I never ended up using it. But, you know, I'm just filling things out here, just because, you know, I have a little bit of OCD. So, we're going to come out here, buy some magic here in this castle, and we can sell some of our stuff, because we're going to have to go back to that Mirage Village to buy the level 7 white magic spells. So might as well sell off a whole bunch of this equipment. We don't really need a lot of it anymore. Yep, there's that Sage's Staff. We don't need that anymore because we can't use Holy, so just get rid of it. So some of this equipment though is pretty good if you have, you know, classes that can use it. That Titan Axe is actually stronger than the Rune Axe, which is the legendary weapon in terms of the axes. So, yep. So there are actually some weapons that are stronger than the legendary weapons, but usually you have to maybe go out of your way to get them, either through a rare item drop or rare steal from a certain monster. But yeah, we sold some stuff off, and now we've seen what we need to. We also gonna have to. Now that we sold stuff off, we have some money to fill out our magic, and then also we can fill up our expendable items, because the only place we have left to go after this, minions, after we fill out all our stuff, is we have to go into the Void. Which is basically the final dungeon of the game. So, and it's a long one. It consists of multiple areas, and you'll see when we get into that area, minions. But spoilers, it's a long dungeon. So, which I guess makes sense, being that, you know, it is the final dungeon. So, yep, and a lot of bosses in there. At one point, it's there's like a little castle area, and it's basically a big boss gauntlet rush. Remember when that cutscene we had a long time ago with Exdeath, where he was like, "Come forth, my minions of the void," and there was like all those creatures that popped up? Yeah, we're gonna have to fight all of them. So, yeah, we might as well stock up. But one of the good things is, even though, whatchamacallit, even though it's the final dungeon, you can exit the final dungeon. So if you find yourself ill-prepared for it and you need more stuff, you need to come out and get more elixirs, more ethers or something, you can always just cast, you know, the warp spell or the exit spell and get on out of there. And even if you don't have the exit spell, you can always walk out. It's not like Final Fantasy III for the Nintendo, where there's a point of no return in the final dungeon, where once you get to that point, you can never leave. So yeah, that's something that I didn't like about that game, but yeah, eventually we'll get to that game. Eventually, minions. So my daddy ordered a copy of it from Japan, so when it comes in, then he'll be okay to play the translated ROM on the computer. So, and now we want to, like I said, we want to go to the Mirage Village so we can pick up those level 7 white magic spells. They're only available here. So, in that secret magic shop. Luckily, though, we got lucky there. We got an extra wall ring drop from Leviathan, and that means we now have 4 wall rings. And we've already bought, in our previous trip here, the 4 flame rings and the 4 core rings. So we're pretty good for in terms of equipment. Other than the this white magic here that we're gonna pick up. The Arise spell and Dispel. Dispel removes like positive buffs off a character or an enemy, and Arise is basically like a life spell that returns your character to from the KO status with full hit points. Like, see, usually when you put use like a Phoenix down, they only come back with maybe like 25% of their hit points. So yep, this one rides on back. So now we're just gonna go searching around here. Gotta get a few more white magics. mainly available, the ones available in the World 2. I don't know if there's any here available in Quelb, the Werewolf Village, but we know there's some available in Moor, which was the final town where we got all the black magic, the level 3 black magic spells. So we're gonna have to stop off there, but well, looks like we already got the ones available here. So yep, and we end up getting one of those, the silence spell, and that filled out our sword magic, and I'll show you later, because that one slot that was missing our sword magic was the silence blade. You basically use that, and you can cast silence when you hit something, like sort of how the Mage Masher was. It has a, you use that spell blade, and it gives your weapon the ability to mute characters when you hit them with it. So let's go pick up our other magic here. The only magic we won't be filling up is the blue magic, because we don't have a blue mage. We weren't allowed to use blue mages. So yep, just check out our magic list. White magic is all full, black magic all full, time magic all full, Espers all full except for Ramuh, which we'll get in the dimension. Now we have all the sword magic, no blue magic, and all the song magic. So there's all the magic if you're looking for it, minions. And now we need to fill out our legendary weapon gathering. So let's head to the sealed castle Kuza. It's closer to that desert where the Phoenix Tower was, a little to the west of it. And we're gonna head on here, and now we can just use our final 2 tablets. No need to try to find any enemies in here, because we already found the Exdeath Soul in here. So yep, all the enemies here. The only enemies that we have left to fight are only encountered in the void. So all the other enemies in this world we've already taken care of. So, and now let's take care of the final 6 weapons. We'll have to grab 3 at a time and then just replace the thing. Here's the Apollo's Harp. That's pretty good for bards, because it has effective damage against a lot of different enemies. So, especially dragons. That's one of the enemies, and there's going to be a lot of dragons coming up. So, here's the Gaia Bell. Not so good. Geomancers use it. It can potentially cast Quake. Similar to how the Fire Lash can potentially cast Fire 3. So, and now we're going to get the Excalibur. It's a holy sword. Good for knights and stuff like that. But there's actually a little better holy sword a little bit later in the game, but it's guarded by a super boss, though. So we picked up our 3 of our legendary weapons, so now it's time to take off tablet number 3 and throw on tablet number 4. And we'll pick up the final 3 legendary weapons. Right here, we're going to get the Rune Axe. That increases your magical power, and it can use some of your, it adds, it can, sometimes I think they say take some of your MP and use it to perform critical hits. But in terms of base damage, the Titan Axe is a little stronger. The Holy Lance. Yeah, many of these legendary weapons have, like, holy power to them, so that's for dragoons. And then the final thing is the Suzuka's Katana. And that is a ninja weapon. And I think that what that does is it has a 25% chance, similar to the Mangouche, to basically help you avoid attacks. So I think that's the ninja's weapon. It might be the samurai weapon. I get that and the Mazmune confused. So, but one's for the samurai, one's for the ninja. The Mazmune, whoever uses that, automatically goes first, and you can use it to cast haste as an item in battle. So let's just exit out of here. And I was talking about the Apollo's Harp, how it's really good against dragons. Well, one thing that I'm going to do is, because one of the optional super bosses is a dragon, and the other super boss you can make into a dragon with a mix to make it a little bit easier and do more effective damage. And there's a lot of dragons in the final dungeon, which kind of makes sense because dragons tend to be big, scary monsters. Oh, funny thing, I'm just gonna sell all these secret weapons. They're only worth like 5 gil, but just to clear up inventory space. But so what I'm gonna do is between now and the next thing before entering the void, I'm gonna go over to where I fought those stingrays, and I'm gonna fight them for a little bit, and hope to get the rare drop that they have. It's a 6.25% chance that they drop it. Dragon Whisker, it's actually a stronger whip than the Fire Lash. It's effective against dragons, has a higher attack power, but it doesn't attack. It doesn't potentially cast Fire 3. And finally, I kept talking about 100% treasure. Down here, there's this guy here. He's this like little psychic. He's near where the Waltz Tower is. And when you talk with him, he tells you a lot of stuff, like the battles you've been in, the monsters you've slain, your experience, and your treasure percentage, and your time saved. So right now we have 91% of all the treasures in the game gathered up. So hopefully when we finish up the all the treasures chests in the void, we'll come back to this guy, and he'll say, hey, you've collected 100% of all the treasures. So you don't really get anything other than a personal satisfaction. I think in some of the remixes, like the Steam version, the computer version, they give you an achievement for it, but not in this version. So I'm going to stop here, drop off here, find some stingrays, and hopefully get that Dragon Whiskers. And I'll see you next time, minions. Take care, have a good day. Bye!